where you are led by questions which aren't really quite on the subject, aren't quite touching on areas you want to talk about, but you just think, well, he's in charge, so I'd better follow the questions. And you achieve nothing by the end. All right, you get through the interview. You don't say anything very dangerous or very risky, but the danger is that you get through to the end of the interview and you hear those welcome words, thank you very much, now let's go to the weather forecast or whatever, and your ordeal is finished. But you haven't achieved very much. I think you need to think about areas like this. The first reply is a really good opportunity for you to say, but what's really important is, or but let me tell you what the company is doing about this. Those are the chances for you to get in. It's much more difficult to do it down here when the interview has developed a particular pattern or direction that takes you away from those subjects. So a vague question, and acknowledge it or answer it briefly and say, yes, that's very important, that's something the company is looking into, but what's more important is, and start maybe getting in a few of those key messages at that point. Now, the big problem about 24-hour news is anything can happen. So right about here, I may get a message in my earpiece saying there's been a bomb scare at Rio Airport and the airport's closed. Let's go straight to our correspondent, find out our reporter there, find out what's happening. That's the sort of thing that happens on 24-hour news. So I say to you, Marcelo, sorry, I've got to stop you there. We're getting reports of big problems at Rio Airport. Let's go. We never come back to you.
Yeah.
That's it, finish. So if that were to happen, if you've done that, at least you've started to get, even if the interview's cut short, you've started to get some of your key messages in. But the interesting thing that may happen as well is that this interviewer, who doesn't know very much about the subject but is trying to get through the interview without revealing his ignorance too much, suddenly thinks, that's interesting. I'll tell you what, I'll ask him some more about that. So suddenly, it's on your agenda. You're being asked more details about your key messages, about the things you want to actually talk about. So I think the first reply, now it's quite difficult. If you've never done this before, it is difficult because you need confidence to do it.
Yeah.
But it's what we call in the trade hitting the ground running. And we love it when interviewees come in their first answer, full of enthusiasm, full of energy, but let me tell you what's really important, or let me tell you what the company is doing about this. It just gets the thing off to a start and immediately puts you in the driving position, as it were. Now, I'm always amazed at the number of experienced interviewees, politicians, everyone, who just answer in a very short sentence and wait for the next question. And they're missing this opportunity.